So we cracked 10K subs. That's a great thing. Shout out to everybody out there who navigated the YouTube UI and co-signed the project that I'm working on here. The Avery Yapps project has been something I've invested a lot of time in over the past 6 months, so it's nice to get this validation. So it all started on December 25th, 2025. We're sitting here today at the time of recording. It is July 12th, 2026, and the channel currently stands somewhere around 10,000 subscribers, which I gotta say, just shout out to all of you who got us this far. 10,000 subs, quite a milestone. If you think about that as just a group of people, it's a lot, nothing to sneeze at. We could accomplish a lot with 10,000 people, just saying. So, without any further ado, what I plan to get into here is just some of the background of my thought process creating this project and just crafting the channel along the way. This is more off the cuff departure from the form. It's a special. It's a 10,000 sub special. So you're going to get a little bit more of a stream of consciousness meta awareness for the commentary I'm providing here, because to tell you the truth, it's a little clunky to talk about what I've been doing. I suppose my favorite thing about this channel is just being able to put my perspective out there. I'm blown away by so many people find it interesting, and it's just cool to read the comments. So that's where I start in the audio that you're about to hear, which I recorded earlier, but I thought I'd add this introduction in just to say a sincere thank you. So without any further ado, here's the video. We've got a lot of interesting comments rolling in lately, especially once you start getting videos up there around 1,000, 2,000 views. Every time you refresh the app, it seems like there's somebody new with a hot take about what you're up to on your channel. First thing I do when I open up the YouTube app is check the comments. It's becoming a hobby of mine. I might not be responding to them, but it's definitely reaching me. So if you're writing words of encouragement or criticism, just know that it's not falling on deaf ears. I try to do one engagement on every single video, so if you get the heart, know that you posted something that struck a chord with me. If I reply to the comment, then you're probably in the top tier, because I don't reply to many people. I think the platform sees it as spammy. I always felt like whenever a content creator would heart my comment, then I'd go to the video and I'd see that they're just going down the list and hearting everybody's comment. Just sort of seemed like it diminished the value of the whole thing. So I try to limit it so that it's more important. Also, keep in mind, if you're a fan of the channel, don't feel like you need to always post a positive comment. Feel free to engage with any of the ideas I put forward in the video. Oftentimes, the criticisms inform what I talk about in the next thing, and I'm always trying to do better. One of my top 10 comments that I've gotten so far was this dude. I think he was criticizing me, but I'm not really sure. Anyway, he referred to me as a sandbox philosopher. And I think I'm going to take that as a badge of honor and just run with it. To mark the occasion, since we just passed 10K subs, we got a good backlog of videos. The channel's essentially developed its identity at this point, so why not put a label on it? Avery Yapps is a sandbox philosophy YouTube commentator. I'm happy with that label. My ideas are like a big open world sandbox. There's always a save game option or a reload last checkpoint option. We're just playing with the ideas, trying to workshop it out so that we can come up with something of value at the end of it all. We could fuck around in the comments section, break stuff, test wild concepts, and iterate freely, because nothing's truly ruined if it doesn't work. We could really just try to borrow from games like GTA and try to approach the learning process that way. It's really fitting with my lifestyle as well. Or more to the point, rather, how I've tried to approach life, or just the way I look back on my life and see the best things that have worked out, things that I want to change, not really getting too solidified in one line of thinking, but always being able to workshop it and open to criticism. Shit, nobody's perfect. There's been times when I've had to completely walk my entire worldview back, reconstruct it, build it up from scratch, erase the whiteboard, start with a blank slate. I think it's very useful, and it's a very good thing to know how to do, especially when things aren't going your way. Some of you picked up on it. There's points in videos, sometimes it goes on for 3 minutes at a time, where I just hit flow state, and it's more of a stream of consciousness where I'm attempting to explain an abstract idea, but I don't want to use regular terminology. In so many words, you could say that the overarching goal or the never ending quest of what I'm trying to accomplish here is just to create one original thought. They say that everything's been said before, so I'm attempting to just say shit in a different way to come up with new ideas. As often as I can, I attempt to take the high road, I think. See, for example, I got a title that I know is going to smack. It's a video that's going to do well. I understand the algorithm at this point, but I always try to take a left turn and put a spin on things just because I don't want to just make the video everybody expects. You could refer to this channel as a rejection of the templated video format. I don't want to be just a run-of-the-mill commentary YouTuber. It's Avery Yapps for a reason. When I get full on into a Yap session, I'm trying to trail off the beaten path and find gold in uncharted territory. Something else people sometimes point out is that there are very obvious cuts in my audio because I have a stutter, if y'all don't already know that. So when I'm articulating myself and I'm actually delivering an audio clip, it sometimes takes like 10 takes to get it right. I'm a human also, by the way, for those of you, because there's just this spam comment that always rolls in. I've heard Polly Walnuts talk about it before. Plenty of different commentary YouTubers mention it. Just you can't post a video these days without that accusation. You know the one I'm referring to. It's always the same. It just gets old at a certain point and I quit responding to it because I understand that it's just part of the common vernacular at this point. You know the one. It's somebody saying, oh, this is an AI voice. This is an AI script, yada, yada, yada. I get it. It's tough times we're living in. I suspect it when I watch videos and I click off immediately. I'm completely opposed to AI scripts. I think that it could be the death nail of the commentary community. I'm not using them, and there's ways to find out if people are. Go right ahead and pick your favorite AI voice detector software, rip the video, plug it into the software, and then just let it crunch the numbers for a second. It'll tell you if it's a robot speaking or not. And then go into the comment section and let people know that it's an AI voice. Do this for all the YouTubers in the commentary space. Let's figure out which ones are and which ones aren't AI. Just put everybody up to the test. Me first. Post screenshots, proof on Reddit, wherever you want, and just expose people who are AI. I'd be very happy to be credited with leading the charge of just a purge of all this shit, a Butlerian jihad, if you will, of just going through the website and finding out who and who isn't. Leave them alone if they are. They're free to do so if the platform allows it. As far as I'm concerned, people are going to do what they're going to do anyway. It's neither here nor there. But as a community, we really should be pointing this stuff out and gathering on different places. I have a subreddit, r/Avery Yapps. If you want to let me know that some of our favorite commentary YouTubers are just bots, let me know. To a certain extent, I'd be very happy to host that sort of information and be a home or a hub for that sort of community. It's, I think, probably part of all of our responsibility to try and keep things clean. I work very hard to make my videos. Takes me hours because I'm recording take after take and trying to get my audio just clean and right. It's something that an AI could do in a few seconds, but I think a lot of the human element and grit would be lost along the way. And I just feel shallow about the whole thing anyway. But to tell you the truth, it's not altogether subject matter that I'm that too interested in. I'm more exploration of ideas realm, sandbox philosophy, like I said. But for those of you who are inclined to seek that stuff out, I'd say more power to you. I don't feel any obligation to make a dedicated video about it, whatever, but I just want to seed that idea for the commentary community. If somebody else wants to take it and run with it, feel free to rip the idea right from this video. Credit me if you want, but I think it's something important we should do. Or maybe not, who gives a fuck? Anyway, this is a video for celebrating the 10,000 subscriber milestone. It's an Avery Yapps positive video. None of that, it's just something I wanted to get off my chest, but let's move on from that topic, please. From the way things are looking, that's just something we're going to have to deal with from here on out. So I'm sure there'll be various different levels of immune responses to it as time progresses forward. We just have to wait for the community to get acclimated to it, I suppose. I do have to say, though, I'm very happy that I created my channel when I did. I feel like I hit right that sweet spot before the internet went full slop mode. I started this channel in December 2025, Christmas of last year. Little bit of lore as far as what was going on behind the scenes before I had the motivation to actually start yapping here on YouTube. So I noticed the first video I ever got recommended was from the YouTuber Yankee underscore. If you're in this community, you probably heard of him. So my introduction to his content was his Have I Wasted My Life video. It just popped up on my feed randomly. It was just him playing an old skate game and doing a commentary video, which is a side of YouTube I hadn't seen since the golden age. I've been using YouTube since probably 2008, so I've gone through various different phases with this website, but at the time, when I was scrolling through my feed, I think my favorite YouTuber back then was Ethan on Everything, who was also a rising semi-commentator YouTuber at the time. Besides him, I'd watch video essays, infotainment, news, sort of current event type content, and music. That was primarily what I used the platform for, but I was very disappointed, like many other people who had the aspiration of becoming a YouTuber, with where the direction was going. Some of my favorite YouTubers back in the day were Leafy is Here, PewDiePie, that sort of 2016 Filthy Frank era of YouTube. That was the good old days as far as I was concerned. And I saw so many changes with the algorithm, and just the dream of becoming a YouTuber seemed to be fading away. The platform had turned to slop content, shorts, all the rest of it. Just the bullshit seemed to be overtaking the site. And the idea of becoming a DIY content creator without a high budget just seemed out of the question. But here was the Yankster just popping out videos of himself talking over gameplay, and people were rocking with it. So I discovered him, and then later discovered Polly Walnuts, probably through the recommendation of on the sidebar of the original video Yankees I was watching. I became a fan of other commentary YouTubers, like the Rad Russian was probably one of my favorites back in that era. It was this whole wave, this resurgence of commentary on the perfect, basically a cool side of YouTube was emerging. There was actually news around that time that YouTube was loosening up its guidelines to allow people to say the word fuck. And this was important back then because you have to remember, only a few short years ago, the site had taken a turn towards being very strict. And opening a niche, what have you, was opening up on the site, and people were filling it. There were commentary channels trying out the platform left and right. The whole template, because you notice a lot of these people started a year ago, less than 2 years ago. This is all very relatively new. I refer to those YouTubers who I mentioned as the pioneers of the resurgence in the commentary space on this site. Before this, all we had was Luna or just carryovers from 10 years ago, people who are still sticking around. So in the back of my mind, I got this sense that Algo's given people a shot at the YouTube dream once again. So naturally, I wanted to become a part of it in any way possible. This was probably around Halloween, and so I didn't start right away just then. Actually, the straw that broke the camel's back was the fart sniffer viral video. He posted a video called, "If you see this, it's proof that the YouTube algorithm is bullshit" type title. I have to give bro credit. He was a trailblazer for posting that. He dropped the F-bomb right in the beginning, first 30 seconds of the video, which at the time was unheard of. Put the word shit in the title, which people hadn't done since probably 10 years before that and gone viral. So his whole upload there, it was really an experiment, proved correct that the algorithm was bullshit in a sense, but also he had the unknowing effect of giving us small creators hope that, wow, there actually is an opening happening right now. I saw that and took it as my call to action. That's really what motivated me to sit down, start gaming again, rip the gameplay footage. I was playing Call of Duty, just letting the gameplay rot away and not being recorded or moving it to an editing software or anything like that, but this time was different. See, like many others, I had been disenfranchised with gaming. I felt like it was a waste of time, but now I was playing with the intention of having it become content later on, and that gave me a whole new perspective on the gaming atmosphere and the whole ecosystem in general. So I recorded my commentary, not really knowing what I was going to say, but it didn't really matter. I think it was my excitement that drove that first upload, and it really hit the algorithm pretty well for a first upload on a brand new channel. It got like 1,000 views and earned me my first couple hundred subs right off the rip, which was all the motivation I needed. So, for historical purposes, I just want to give those four guys credit. We got Yankee, Fart Sniffer, Polly Walnuts, and Rad Russian. Really, without those guys showing me the template, being early pioneers of the resurgence of YouTube commentary, you probably wouldn't have Avery Yapps. I might have gone along and done something different later on down the line, but it's very unlikely I would have created my channel when I did. It took months of just seeing these other guys doing it and absolutely killing the game for me to realize that this is the time to put it into motion. See, if I didn't have those influences, I probably would have continued to spiral down that doomer core mentality of, oh, if I create a video, why even bother? I'm just going to post it. It's going to get 0 views. It's a fixed game. All they want is to have the next Mr. Beast. But these guys were showing me the way. Special credit to Fart Sniffer, actually. He posted that Call of Duty gameplay where I think he got like 2 kills and 30 deaths. It said shit and fuck all throughout the video, just talking shit about the platform, and still almost cracked 1 million views on a brand new channel. I mean, if that's not the Wild West spirit of what this platform was all about, then I don't know what else is. It was truly inspiring, and it gave me the motivation. I was starting my channel with a legitimate aspiration and a direction instead of just a shot in the dark. I don't think I ever allowed myself to think that I would get to 10K subs, but at the same time, I've always sort of maintained the disposition where I don't allow for any place of doubt whenever I try any of these different endeavors, so I was going into it with just an open mind. I thought if those guys could do it, I could do it too. I've got plenty of things to say, and I'm excited. I've always wanted to be a YouTuber my entire life, and this might be my one opportunity to finally do it before I get old and jaded or life gets in the way. It becomes impossible. And especially the way my life is now, I don't think I could start today. At any rate, the legacy of Avery Yapps is simply just a piece of internet history at this point. I'm an established YouTuber as much as I like to be. 10K subs isn't 1 million. I'm not nowhere near Mr. Beast level, but shit, I'm grateful for every single one of you who co-signed my endeavors here. Numbers aren't everything, of course. I'm not saying it's the end-all be-all. Sub count's not everything by any means. It could mean nothing, but shit, as far as I'm concerned, it's a huge motivation to know that there's actually people out there who resonate with the message I'm putting out there. The last thing I would do is allow myself to get an ego in this whole thing. As far as I'm concerned, I just see it as I make videos, some people watch them, and that's cool. But in a broader sense, if I've played any role in this resurgence of the commentary space, then I'm just thankful for everybody who's helped me along the way. Especially in those early days, those likes and comments, they really mean the world to a small YouTuber and give you the motivation to work on that next video. Really the barrier to entry on this site is just feeling disenfranchised when a new upload doesn't perform so hot. I like to think that I've at least brought a unique angle to this whole thing. I like to think that my videos are a little bit more than just discussing why I don't call my friends back and talking about life or whatever over some video gameplay, but trying to drive at a higher meaning. Probably one of the most mind-blowing YouTube metrics is watch time. When you go into the analytics and you see that you've accrued 24 hours of people watching your video, that's insane to me because it's an entire day of that Yap session just playing on phones around the world. On a meta level, I see this project as putting out my thought waves and word patterns, the verbiage I use, the mechanisms I use to try to explain the world. They're at the core of my project. What I'm trying to accomplish is just advancing language in a way that other people might not be. See, at times growing up, I would get frustrated because I would be attempting to explain myself to people and often feeling like I'm shouting at a brick wall without getting anywhere. So one thing that I always made sure to do was explain myself properly. I've always made my best efforts to be intellectually honest when I speak with people, and so it always came across as sort of disheartening whenever I would talk to somebody and it would feel like they weren't giving me the same time of day that I was allowing them. So cut to modern day, I'm sitting here with 10,000 subscribers and a couple people who are willing to listen to me. You're seeing the end result or the current progress of a person who's spent a lot of his life really analyzing how he talks and perfecting his craft. I very deliberately had a hand in shaping my own worldview and crafting a way of communicating that worldview. So I'm very fortunate at this point to actually have people who are willing to give me an ear and the time of day to listen to me. So, long story short, the last thing I would do now is waste this opportunity. You can expect me to keep up the same pace 3-day upload schedule as long as I possibly can. And I'm just going to continue to approach it the same exact way I have because apparently the formula we're working with works. So, anyway, who's that guy, right? Okay, time to take it back now. Here's the meta commentary. I'm back. This is current Avery, much more current than that guy who was just talking there. So let's draw things back and meet in the middle here. You might notice that the audio in the beginning and end of this upload are relatively different from the 17-minute segment that you likely just listened to or skip past, and that's because I've not only time traveled into the future, but I've also changed locations. The primary difference between the audio in both of them is that this one is being recorded late at night and the other one's during the day. Typically, that's why you get the difference. This sort of audio is really only featured on videos in my Avery from MA channel. That's my side channel. I try to post on there all basically weekly. I've been running that side channel, Avery from MA, for about a month now. It's just got like under 200 subs, whatever. I like playing the Call of Duty gameplay too, and it's a little bit more of a throwback, I suppose, to where I originated on the Avery Yapps channel. It's sort of a return to form, or going back to my roots. So there's some behind the scenes trivia for those of you who are inclined to collect that sort of information. If you hear this sort of audio, it's because it's recorded late at night, as opposed to the other audio which is recorded during the average time. So for better or for worse, we're going to close it out now. I know this video is a bit longer than my regular 17-minute video format, which I'll probably be returning to for the Avery Yapps channel. It just seems to be working. I'm also a big fan of the number 7. That's my lucky number if you haven't already guessed. I might as well take this opportunity to plug the Discord. I'm on X too. It's Avery Yapps across the board, but if you're interested in the Discord invite, it's featured right on my channel. Just navigate to the homepage. It's right there. Come join it. I'm much more responsive on that and just sort of free-flowing dialogue than on these other platforms. I'm not a big poster on Twitter. I have the Avery Yapps Instagram handle locked down as well. I don't really use that platform either. It's just I figured I might as well get the @ while it was still open. Not that when I actually founded any of these different pieces of digital real estate I thought anybody would be inclined to grab it, but now that we're at 10K, well, whatever. The internet's a weird place. You never know, especially once we're at 10K, there's going to be people who might go on and try to just create the Avery Yapps @ handle, but haha, I already beat you to it, so that's that. And for those of you who use Twitter, feel free to hit me up on there, but know that I don't really post on there. I want to, but I just don't lately. Mostly for the future of this channel, just expect the regular business of uploads every 3 days on Avery Yapps, and then the occasional off-the-cuff COD commentary or more experimental videos might be coming the way of the side channel, like I said, at Avery from MA. Yeah, it's easy to find. And there's a playlist with all the videos from the side channel that's on the main hub of the Avery Yapps YouTube channel as well. Just some back-end stuff, some of you know how to find me or who I am online, yada yada, all that business stuff about my different projects. And if you're a big fan, you want to find them basically. In closing, I will say I plan to start doing live streams on the side channel. Once we reach about 1,000 subs over there, I'll make sure to announce it and stuff like that. But if y'all want to fast track that sort of project, then make sure you go over there and co-sign the side channel as well. If there's not enough interest, it probably won't be worth my time. Actually, really what I'd hope, or my dream, my goal for the Discord would be it serves as a hub for up-and-coming or established commentator YouTubers who are a part of this wave. So if you're interested in creating a channel, hit me up and I'll give you as many tips as you want. Yeah, I definitely stand against just the doomer take of thinking that becoming a YouTuber is a unobtainable dream. I really think it's possible. I don't know about growing up to 1 million. Pretty much all I know how to do, all I've proven is that I could start from 0 and I could get it to 10K in half a year. So that's that. On that note, big fat thanks to everybody who did sub to the channel, and that's also something everybody needs to take into consideration here. It's a human website. Whether we like to talk about bots and all that shit or not is a side topic. If it doesn't appeal to people and it's not an individual, well, actually, let me rephrase. The website, or a fan base, if you will, people who watch your videos, right? It's built up of individuals, and for a person to speak about the platform in terms of algorithms and all this stuff kind of does remove the human element, which is there all along. I'm hope-pilled about YouTube, actually. I'm a big fan of this website. It's the only game in town. I created the channel hoping that I would have some level of success, and I've gotten there. So I gotta say, if you need an example that it can work to whatever extent it has for me, then you feel free to use me as an example. So that's about it. Wish you all the best. Good luck on your travels. Thank you all for 10K. We made it this far, and see you all in the next one. Have a good one.